Circulators for a petition against public funding for private schools hit the pavement across the Panhandle this week. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, groups opposing public funding of private schools have been making a push through the Panhandle to gather petition signatures to put the issue on the November ballot. Support Our Schools Nebraska needs to collect at least 90,000 valid signatures to give voters the option to repeal LB 1402, which would provide up to $10 million in direct state funds to nonprofit organizations granting scholarships to low-income and disadvantaged students wanting to attend a private or parochial school. During stops in the Scottsbluff and Gering area, Jenny Benson, a group supporter and the Nebraska State Education Association president, said while public schools do receive hundreds of millions of dollars in property tax revenue and state aid, that $10 million is no less important.
And I hear those comments. I hear the amount. TIOSA is a very complicated formula for funding. We all believe that property tax relief needs to happen. But you also have to look at then, what do those look like? They've already put all these spending caps in place for school districts. But if you're looking at school districts like Sioux County, where there's nowhere else to go, that's going to be more per pupil in a Sioux County than it would be in a Lincoln Public Schools or an Omaha Public Schools. But we want all kids to have the same opportunity, and that's that accountability piece.
Benson also said, while we have some very good private and parochial schools in the state, less than half of 93 Nebraska counties have one, and they would not face the same accountability for those public funds. In addition to needing 90,000 valid signatures from across our state, Support Our Schools also needs to get valid signatures from 5% of registered voters in at least 35 counties. Well, the Panhandle Business and Professional Women recognized their 2024 award winners during a Wednesday luncheon. This year's Young Careerist Award went to Dana Anderson Cardwell of Community Christian School, while PPHD Executive Director Kim Engel was honored as Woman of the Year.
At PPHD, we intentionally implement policies that encourage work-life balance to create a family-friendly culture. Allow me to insert a shameless advertisement for our Worksite Wellness technical assistance at this time, which is available to all work sites free of charge. You can see me right afterwards for information.
Both Rural Radio's Kendra Feather and Riverstone Bank's Amanda Grubbs were dual winners of BPW's Shirley Flack Members of the Year. This year's Employer of the Year went to Web Eye Care, whose 23 women total nearly 80% of their workforce, while Diana Acosta, Sarah Truck, and Stacy Ring were 2024 scholarship recipients. We'll have more news right after this.
Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
Renewal by Andersen. Isn't it time to replace those old windows and doors? With mortgage interest rates where they are, investing in your home now rather than moving has never made more sense. Renewal by Andersen's legendary windows, ensemble entry doors, the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more valuable, energy efficient, quieter, and secure. Please visit rbawyoming.com, call today, ask about great discounts and awesome financing options. New windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Isn't it time?
Welcome back. Local and state entities are joining forces this coming weekend for a traffic incident management field exercise at Western Nebraska Regional Airport. The NDOT, NSP, and regional emergency management agencies will be active Saturday morning as they work through a simulated crash response. Organizers say the goal of the exercise is to give emergency responders and those supporting traffic incident management operations a better understanding of best practices by bringing together responders from a variety of disciplines. The training will also expose responders to the complexities of a crash response, specifically through the perspective of their partners. The traffic incident management field exercise at the airport is expected to run Saturday from 8 to 1. Well, Nebraska U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts is decrying Department of Education changes to Title IX rules that bar schools from discriminating against LGBTQ athletes. Ricketts says the rewrite threatens the progress and safety of American girls and women in education and athletics.
Congress passed Title IX to protect women's gender identity. Never even appears in the law. In fact, gender identity was barely a term 50 years ago. The Biden administration has no authority to reinterpret a 50-year-old statute with a phrase that barely even existed when the law was passed. Even the New York Times admits these rules effectively broaden Title IX. This is classic big government overreach.
Ricketts says he's also supporting the Protection of Women and Girls Sports Act, which forces the current and any future administrations to interpret Title IX as originally intended. And Governor Jim Pillen is now accepting applications for director of the Nebraska State Historical Society. Earlier this year, the legislature approved and the governor signed LB 1169, making the Historical Society a code agency. As with other code agencies, the director is appointed by the governor and subject to legislative approval. Applications may be submitted through the governor's website or by sending it in writing to the governor's office in Lincoln. Deadline is close of business on Wednesday, July 3rd.
Morrill County Community Hospital and the behavioral health providers are here to help. Amber Dean specializes in mental health care, which includes medication and therapy across a person's lifespan. Melody Lacey helps people deal with a wide range of behavioral problems, from depression and anxiety to child psychiatry. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time. At Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska. Exceptional care right here at home.
Now the latest from the Scottsbluff Body and Paint Sports Desk. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, you're driving home our reputation.
A coaching departure at WNCC, the top story for today's update. After 4 seasons at the helm, head coach for the WNCC men's basketball program, Billy Engel, confirmed to KNEB Sports this morning that he's officially stepped down as head coach. Responding via text message, Engel said, quote, "I've truly enjoyed my time here and couldn't imagine coaching anywhere else. It's just time for me to move on to something else new right now," end quote. Engel Engel's final season was his best season as the Cougars finished 24-9 and made an appearance in the Region 9 Tournament Championship game. Billy Engel has stepped down as head coach for the Cougar men. Expect his replacement to be announced sometime here in the next few days. The Western Nebraska Pioneers were home for midweek games the last couple of nights against the Liberal BJs, a team out of Kansas. Here on Tuesday, it was all Liberal as they won it 12-6. The Pioneers did respond in kind last night with a 7-2 win. They'll have today off, and then it's time to hit the bus for a 6-game road trip down into Kansas. That'll get started tomorrow evening. They'll have a quick 2-game set with the Dodge City A's. We'll have coverage both nights on KNEB 960, 100.3 FM. Sunday and Monday, they'll be in Liberal. And then there's Legion baseball on the road this weekend for both the Wesco Zephyrs and the Gehring Juniors and Seniors. The Zephyrs hosted North Platte on Tuesday in a doubleheader, with North Platte winning a pair of very competitive contests. The finals in those games were 7-3 and 2-0. Oscar Felix struck out 9 in a 6-inning start in Game 1. Ryan Hinman delivered all 3 RBI. North Platte scored 4 runs in the 7th to pull away late. Game 2 featured Carter Reisig back on the bump. He struck out 4 in 5 innings, but the only offense the Zephyrs could muster was a pair of base hits against North Platte starting pitcher Easton Geisler. The Zephyrs will visit Blair and Grand Island this weekend. The Gehring teams, they've got games at Broken Bow today. They're at Aurora tomorrow before closing out at Nebraska City on Saturday. That is the latest today from right here at the Scottsbluff Body and Paint Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
Pet waste and water don't mix. Animal waste decomposes in water, releasing nutrients, which deplete the oxygen fish and other life need to survive and encourage harmful algae growth. Animal waste also has disease-carrying bacteria, making contaminated water unusable. It's easy to prevent pet waste pollution. Simply pick up your pet's waste and dispose of it in a trash can, and avoid letting your pets defecate within 200 feet of our community's waterways. Tri-City Stormwater reminds you it's our water, our responsibility.
Let's take a look at your community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank.
Please
The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
High Plains Auto Club presents the 25th annual Rock and Roll Father's Day Classic, Friday, June 14th. Registration begins at 2 p.m. at the Gearing Civic Center. Welcome barbecue, cruise for cash, ice cream social. Saturday, June 15th, parade downtown Gearing at 9 a.m. Show and shine at 5 Rocks from 10 to 4 and awards banquet. To enter, go to highplainsautoclub.com or call 641-4849. This event is sponsored by Next Level Restoration, Gearing Civic Center, Rural Radio.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
And finally tonight, the annual Festival of Hope will be taking place this Saturday morning at the Scottsbluff County Fairgrounds in Mitchell. Dr. Vince Buerling tells KNB News with all activities taking place in the morning, it will be filled with things including the 5K non-competitive walk-run.
You know, it's one of those things where you can go out and walk for either yourself or for somebody you know who has and or has had cancer. We're going to have the Knights breakfast that morning, and that's always a really popular thing. There'll be some entertainment, and then there's also going to be our auctions. There's a silent auction and a live auction. There'll be a penny carnival for kids. There's going to be some booths. And then we have the butterfly wall where people can purchase butterflies. And then we're also going to have the butterfly release at the end of the event.
The Festival of Hope is a grassroots fundraising event organized by volunteers committed to assist area cancer patients with non-medical expenses during their treatment process. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.